Hello and welcome to this brand new video tutorial series called Workflow and Project Management. In this first episode, I want to show you how I can create an automatically created folder structure for my new projects. Project management can be a bit boring, but it's very essential, especially when you're working in a team with multiple artists and different departments. But also, if you're working as a one artist, then it's important to have a good folder structure. So I work on a Windows PC, but I'm sure that this file automation is also possible to make in a Mac system. So here's the BOT file, project folder setup BOT. And when I open that up in the editor, you can see the file structure in this editor file. So important is the MD command, which stands for main directory, and then a space, and then this quotation mark, and then the name that your folder should have. Okay, so in my case, this is the date and then project for project name. I can rename this later on manually, but the folder structure will be created automatically for me. So now what's happened when I double click on this project folder setup BOT file. Windows and my system creates automatically that folder with that name that I have in this text file. So when I go inside, you can see that all the folders are generated automatically for me. Here is the input folder. Here I can save all the reference images, all the reference content that I need for this specific project. I can also bring in here some ideas or some feedback from the client. Maybe it goes everything into this input folder. The next folder is the model folder where I can save all the pre-built assets that I download. You can download for free or paid pre-built assets from different sites, and they come up in different versions. You can download blend files for Blender. You can download FBX or OBJ or even USD in some cases, or every other format, max formats and stuff like this. This files or this assets goes directly into this corresponding folder into the model folder. The next folder is the 3D folder. So this folder has in it the Exchange folder. So here I can save all the Alembic files, the cache files, the FBX files, the proxy master, and the XREF master. XREF is a format for Cinema 4D. So in Cinema 4D, you can create an XREF master, and then you can import the XREF proxy file to another Cinema 4D file. It's just a way to optimize the scene workflow. The proxy master is related to the Corona and the Chaos Cosmos, where you can load in the Corona proxies and things like that. The cache folder I can save in all the cache files for smoke simulations, fluid simulations, and stuff like that that has to be cached in some ways. Then I have the text folder. Here inside goes all the textures that I need for this project. And in the 3D main folder, all the DCC files, the Max file, the Cinema 4D files, Lightwave files, Houdini files, whatever, it will be saved here. And every DCC file that has an asset inside this file, the texture path is linked to this one single text folder. So all the textures, all the files are in this text folder, and this DCC files are linked to this text folder. The working file folder is daily based. So in here, I can save in some test renders. This folder will be renamed in renderings 250221. Okay. And if I create another test render tomorrow, I will duplicate this folder and call it renderings 250222 and so on. It's also a kind of a backup and a history. The same goes with this old folder here. Okay. So for example, I work on a project and I save incremental files, right? Then probably when I work on a project for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and whatever, I have a ton of 3ds Max files here. So what I typically do is I keep up the last 2 days of save files, and all the other ones that are older, I put it into an old folder here. This is also a backup folder and a history folder. The next folder is the compositing folder. And you can see here that I have the After Effects, DaVinci, PSD. Every file that is related to compositing goes into that folder. And here I have also an old folder for backup and history. The last folder is the output folder. And here is just one single folder. And here everything goes in that is really final. And I can send it to the client. So now, what if you have your project folder, everything is working fine, and in the model folder, you want to create a new folder for, let's say, Max file formats, okay? So how we can add a new folder here. So I show you that now. Open up this bat file, and then you can say, okay, so I have in the model folder, I copy this and create a new line and paste this in. And I change this and say 3ds Max. So it will be creating a new folder called 3ds Max. So I save that. And when I delete this and restart the folder structure, I can go inside here in the model and you can see there is the new folder 3ds Max. So how simple is that? All right, so let's say you have created this structure here in the editor and you save this the first time. So let's save under. You can see that the data type is set to text. That's okay. So let me show why. So let's call this project folder setup 02 text save. So now you can see that it's creating this text file. So when I double click this, you can see that it's open up the editor automatically. But what you have to do now is you click on here and change the ending to but. So now Windows comes in and say, you really want to change the file format. Maybe the file will not work. Okay, but we want to change from text to this but, to this command file that Windows can recognize I have to do something when this file gets started. Okay, so let's press yes. So when I click on this project folder setup 02, I double click on it and it's creating the folder right away. So you can see that this works. So that's basically it. So what I do now is I open that up so you can make a screenshot of this structure and you can create your own structure that you need. Important is that you have this MD command before the space and then these quotation marks and then the name structure like this. And as I said, you can rename your folder as you need and as you like. So that's it. That's the first episode. I hope you like it. I hope it's something helpful for you. If you have any questions, ideas, or if you just want to say something about this tutorial series, please let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you next time very soon. And bye, everybody.